In today's episode of The Founder Ride, Randy talks about the quiet power of the COO.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Founder Ride. Love doing these videos and love talking about these topics. Today, I want to talk about the quiet power of a chief operating officer. And I really shouldn't say COO, but rather whoever's operating your business. And it's an important part to have the right operational leader in your business at the right time. So, depending upon where you are in your business, obviously when you start out your business, you are probably the operator, right? And as it grows pretty quickly, you'll need some operational assistance. And oftentimes, that person or those people is very tactical in nature. You're still driving the strategy. They're doing what you ask them to do. There does come a point in time when you develop processes that are routine, processes that are systemized. Well, it's the same thing, I guess. But processes that can accommodate your current growth and where you are. And this is kind of the dangerous time with the operator that you have. So many businesses, one mistake people make all the time, this is not a pet peeve of mine, but rather a true, I think, real mistake, is that they might have gone from $1 million of sales to $5 million in sales. And then they bring in what they call a chief operating officer. Reality is you don't have COOs at $5 million. You don't have COOs at $10 million. You have general managers, you have director of operations. And the reason why this is important, because you have to really make sure that the person who's doing a job understands their role, their skill set, their capability. A true blue chief operating officer has tremendous autonomy to make decisions and operate the business without any impact or very little impact, operational impact from you as the entrepreneur. So if you think about it that way, that if people are still very dependent on you, they're probably a general manager, probably a director of operations. But it's important as you're growing to have that. Eventually, someday, the company gets big enough and you really, again, evolve from being an employee owner to an investor owner in the business. And you introduce strategy. That's where your big primary role is in the business, is being strategic. That's when you probably hire a chief operating officer. And of course, who you hire, not by name, but rather, are you bringing in somebody who has lots of experience in your company size? Are you bringing in somebody who has lots of experience in your industry, or both? And it's so hard to do that, by the way. It's very hard to find an operator of your business who is has the right skill to go from point A to point B and understand your business. In my experience, and I think a mistake that people make pretty regularly is that they try to hire somebody who knows their industry well. And that's not a bad thing, but that doesn't mean they know how to grow a company. Whereas like finding an operator to go from $1 million to 10 million, or 10 million to 50 million, 50 million to 100 million, that's hard. Good operators, in my view, they can figure out the industry. Now, there is a difference between manufacturing and service businesses, or manufacturing, distribution, and service. That's true. So you want to try to find somebody in those verticals, if you will. But trying to find somebody who's gone from 10 to $100 million in your space will be very, very hard. The other thing too, guess what? They're expensive. If you're hiring somebody who really is good at what they do and know what they're doing, they're very expensive, so you have to be prepared to pay for it. In my experience, again, if you find that right person, you pay for it, because they're going to do a great job. They're going to get you to where you want to go. And it really allows you then to, another power of the right operator is it frees you up to be the visionary, frees you up to be strategic. And if you're the type of entrepreneur that you're a sales-led entrepreneur, it frees you up to sell more, which is important. So it just can't emphasize enough how important it is to really get the right operator at the right time in your business. And you will outgrow them. I mean, that's unfortunately what's going to happen, that if you keep growing, eventually you're going to outgrow them. And that's okay, because they'll find another company just like yours and they'll go do the same thing again, because that's what their skill set is. And after 34 years of doing this, I've seen that time and time and time again, where people, good operators love a new challenge. So don't feel bad if you do outgrow them. Just got to find that next person to go to the next level. So it's not a difficult topic. It's a difficult idea to execute on. And so if you need some assistance or help with this, we'd love to talk to you about it. Thanks, and thank you for listening to The Founder Ride.